Hi everyone, today we're going to do something new. I'm going to paint a topic in 20 minutes and we'll do that from scratch to finish. I already put some colors on my palette with titanium white, cadmium yellow, yellow ochre, pearl red, a little bit of phthalo green and black. I'm painting on oil paint paper and we're going to paint some watermelons. Let's get started. Now first I want to get a bit of an indication of where to put it. I think I'll start here and then there. This is like the baseline measured from one watermelon to the other one. And then we'll just get our sketch on. This is the highest part. Go this down until about there. And we're just doing this as a little color study. Nothing too serious. And you can also not expect too much from, of course, a 20-minute painting session. But it's good sometimes to put yourself a limit because it helps you to paint more loosely. That's also something that I always strive for. And when you have a time limit, you need to make choices about what you do. Let's see, we have here the second one, maybe it goes until there. Just checking if everything is on the camera screen here. That's slightly off, so I'll just move it in a bit so you guys can actually see what I'm putting on there. That's better, I guess. Looking also at the spaces between the tips to just get rough estimations of where they are in relationship to each other. There's just the outside lines, not doing any detailing yet. And then that one goes roughly like this. Some more angle there. Some more angle here to make it more interesting. And this one already has a nice bite out of it. And it also has a slight bit of shadow going on there. Maybe just off the screen here. Again, not too picky about this little study. Now I'm putting my pencil away and I'm taking my brush. Now as I'm using water soluble oil paints, if I want I can just add a little bit of water to my brush to make the paint flow a bit better, and that's what you can use instead of turpentine. I'm just cleaning my brush here and starting with some reds. So I think these reds for the lightest part are not there yet. And for the darkest part, we might just put in some initial colors. And I'm just dappling it on there. Just getting some color on there. And later on, I think we'll need to darken this definitely with some black to it. Squeezing it out, all that paint. Taking a bit more for this one as well. I also see there's some a bit of an orange tone in it. So I'm also adding some yellow to that red. And you create also warmer tones, of course. I do need to put some more paint on that palette, I notice. I'll do that in a second. Some more pearl red. Actually, I think I might add a little touch of carmine red as well. That's also a color I really enjoy. It's a beautiful dark warm red, which has some slight bluish tones to it, and I think that would work marvelous here for those shadows on the watermelon. Still keeping it thin. Not thin down, just thin paint. Not a lot of paint on the brush, so to say. Now we have lighter parts. I'll start with some red, add some yellow, maybe a little bit of yellow ochre as well to dumb it down. Just let's see what this does. Can be lighter, so I'm just adding a touch of white. Not too much, because I don't want to get it too chalky. More yellow as well. We need to do that same on the other side. I'm just adding a touch of water here, so you can also see what that does. It creates better flow. That's about it for that part. Just let's smooth out that edge. That works well with the water, I must say. You also have a bit lighter colors. Here it's a very dominant red, just where you go over this corner basically. I want that to be the brightest reds we've put in. And if I look closely to the other side, we also have that same effect here in that bite. There it's also quite dominant, but I'm rubbing it out a bit more. Some red with a touch of the carmine red, just to make it more interesting around here. And let's add a little bit of water to that mixture too. And of course, if you use regular oil paints, you could do this with solvent as well. Now, here you see some interesting shapes going on as well to get some texture. So just playing around with this brush. The lighter tones. There we go. On top it's a bit more light, so I'm just making a little mixture of white, yellow, and a touch of red. But as there's already paint there, we need to put it on slightly thicker than we did before. Just dappling those colors on there. There we go. also a bit lighter, so going for that same approach. Let's add some more yellows. Going again for these darker tones here. Now I'm loading my brush a bit with more paint. Dappling it on there, making differences between the reds. Here also I want it a bit more dark to have it pop a bit more. Let's define this angle a bit more, see? Create a more interesting bite. And it stands out from that other watermelon. These edges of the bite are a bit more sharp, huh? So let's play around with them and define them a bit. There we go. Let's get some of those greens in. We're almost halfway through here. Start with a little bit of phthalo green and adding yellow. You get this very beautiful, lush, vibrant green, which is a perfect color to start with. Let's add a touch of water there just for that flow again. More yellow. It's darker, so I'm just taking some of the darker phthalo green and adding maybe a touch of black to it as well to darken it and to neutralize it also. Here comes the yellow ochre into play with some white, more white, for this edge part. Need more white. Blend that in there a bit. More of the yellow on top of that. Taking some white. Okay, to still have some yellow on that brush. Let's put some of that shadow in. Start with a little bit of water again, and then some black. I'm redefining the edge a bit as well. can do the same here. We can play with these shadows. Huh? It's not necessarily as we see it in our reference. We call that artistic freedom. Mm-hmm. Just take a new tissue. Let's put some more red on there. Just dappling on. Again here, taking some liberties in the things we see. Juicy bite. Okay, now I'm putting a little bit less on there, and I'm putting in some of these reds over this side, just to create some more dynamic shapes. And adding texture like that as well. So this part is a bit more rounded. Let's soften that also. Adding some more fresh whites. But overall, you always see that it kind of bleeds in each other. It blends. So these are not sharp edges we are looking for. We're blending a bit where the flesh meets the peel. Keep it soft. We're almost there, guys. Let's add some more whites to the lighter areas. Like this tip. Just adding some indications here and there. Just a touch darker here. Yeah. Let these colors blend a bit, the shadow and the foreground. And we have some seeds here and there. Just do that with some very simple markings. Nothing too concerned about details. There's also like this slight rim, textural differences. And as finishing touches, we'll put some highlights. Just here and there. Very lightly dappling it on. It's too strong here, so removing again and softening it up. Same here, not that dominant. Adding some fresh yellow there, where the light hits. And maybe a final bit of fresh white here. Oh, this also works, doubling your brush a bit to create that shine. Just with a little paint. There we go. I think we're now at the end of our 20 minutes almost. 1 minute to go, I guess. Just softening the shadow a little bit. And here as well. Just smearing out those edges a bit. Can sometimes work wonders. And that's a nice thing about like textured paper like this. It's easy to soften. There we go. Just one final thing here. Let's drag it down a little bit more and let it disappear a bit in that shadow. Okay, now I'm really stopping, otherwise I'm cheating and we're going over our 20 minutes. No, that's it for today. Thanks for watching.